நாட்டின் வளர்ச்சிக்காக மாணவர்கள் புதிய கண்டுபிடிப்புகளில் தங்களை ஈடுபடுத்திக் கொள்ள வேண்டும். வேலூர் விஐடி பல்கலைக்கழகத்தில் அறிவுசார் திருவிழாவில் டேனியலி இந்தியா லிமிடெட் நிறுவனங்களின் துணைத்தலைவர் மனோரஞ்சன் ராம் பேச்சு. வேலூர் மாவட்டம் காட்பாடியில் உள்ள விஐடி பல்கலைக்கழகத்தில் 3 நாட்கள் நடைபெறும் கிராவிட்டாஸ் எனப்படும் அறிவுசார் திருவிழா இன்று துவங்கியது. இதனை பல்கலைக்கழக வேந்தர் ஜி. விஸ்வநாதன் ட்ரோன் ரோபோவை பறக்கவிட்டு துவக்கி வைத்தார். இவ்விழாவில் ஆட்டோ டெஸ்க் நிறுவனத்தின் கல்வி மேலாளர் ஆனந்த் புஜாரி உள்பட பலர். விழாவில் சிறப்பு அழைப்பாளராக டேனியலி இந்தியா லிமிடெட் நிறுவன துணைத்தலைவர் மனோரஞ்சன் ராம் பங்கேற்று மாணவிகளின் கண்டுபிடிப்புகளை பார்வையிட்டார். இதில் ரோபோக்கள், கார்கள், பேட்டரி வாகனங்கள், சிறிய ரக விமானங்கள் ஆகியவைகளும் 200க்கும் மேற்பட்ட கண்டுபிடிப்புகளும் 35 பெரிய கண்டுபிடிப்புகள், அறிவியல் சார்ந்த விவாதங்கள், லேசர் ஷோக்கள், ரோபோ சண்டைகள், கருத்தரங்குகளும் நடக்கிறது. இந்த கிராவிட்டாஸ் எனப்படும் அறிவுசார் திருவிழா இன்று துவங்கி 29ஆம் தேதி வரையில் நடக்கிறது. இதில் 50க்கும் மேற்பட்ட நாடுகளை சேர்ந்த 625 கல்லூரி பல்கலைக்கழகங்கள் சேர்ந்த 27,000 மாணவிகள் இந்த அறிவுசார் திருவிழாவில் பங்கேற்றுள்ளனர். இவ்விழாவில் டேனியலி இந்தியா லிமிடெட் நிறுவன துணை தலைவர் மனோரஞ்சன் ராம் பேசுகையில், கடந்த 30 ஆண்டுகளை காட்டிலும் நாடு இரும்பு உற்பத்தி, புதிய தொழிற்சாலைகள், வேலைவாய்ப்புகளில் முன்னேற்றமடைந்துள்ளது. ஆனால் இப்போது மாணவிகளாகிய நீங்கள் உங்களின் தனித்திறனை வளர்த்து கொள்வது அவசியம். காரணம், வரும் காலமானாலும் சரி, எதிர்காலமானாலும் சரி, அது ஏஐ எனப்படும் ஆர்டிபிஷியல் இன்டெலிஜென்ட் எனப்படும் செயற்கை நுண்ணறிவு தொழில்நுட்பம் தான். நீங்கள் அதிலும் கவனம் செலுத்தி அதிநவீன தொழில்நுட்பங்கள் குறித்து தெரிந்து கொண்டால் நாடும் முன்னேற்றமடையும் என பேசினார். தற்பொழுது இந்தியா பொருளாதார வளர்ச்சியில் முன்னேற்றம் அடைந்து வருகிறது. மாணவர்களின் பங்கு அதிகரிக்க வேண்டும். குறிப்பாக மாணவர்களுக்கு எதிர்காலம் சிறப்பாக அமைந்துள்ளது. புதிய கண்டுபிடிப்புகளை அறிமுகப்படுத்தி அதனை பல நிறுவனங்களில் பயன்படுத்தக்கூடிய வகையில் புதிய தொழில்நுட்பங்களை பயன்படுத்த வேண்டும். இந்தியாவில் பல்வேறு வாய்ப்புகள் அதிகரித்துள்ளன. தொழிற்சாலைகள் அதிகரித்து வருகின்றன. இவற்றிற்கெல்லாம் மாணவர்களின் புதிய கண்டுபிடிப்புகளும் அவசியமாகிறது. இன்றைய காலகட்டத்தில் கணினி அறிவியல் முக்கியமானதாக கருதப்படுகிறது. எனவே மாணவர்களும் தங்கள் அறிவு திறனை பயன்படுத்தி புதிய தொழில்நுட்பங்களை பயன்படுத்தி புதிய கண்டுபிடிப்புகளில் ஈடுபட வேண்டும் எனவும் அவர் கூறினார்.
Studio.
Mr. Manoranjan Ram, our guest of honor, Mr. Anand Pujari, Vice Presidents, Mr. Shankar Viswanathan, Dr. G. V. Selvam, Vice Chancellor Dr. Kanchala Bhaskaran, Pro-Vice Chancellor Dr. Pasha Dinamik, Registrar Dr. Devabati, the convener of Gravitas Dr. Sharmila and other professors, my dear student organizers, members of the press and media, and other participants from various institutions and also from VIT, very good morning to you. I am very happy that our Chief Guest and Guest of Honor agreed to come on the inauguration day of Gravitas. This is the 15th edition of Gravitas 24. I was witnessing the research of our students, the outcome of the research of our students, because this is a festival of technology. It's a technological festival, and we are going to, the next 3 days, people are going to witness what are the innovative things which the students from our own university and others throughout number of countries are also participating. It's a very good occasion for us to teach and also to learn. And as a country, we have to spend more on education and particularly research, where we are lagging behind for a long time. In higher education particularly, I have been always advocating that the government should spend more so that the poor and the middle class will have the benefit of higher education. Only then research and development, publications and patents will be possible. If you take 2020, India lags behind its global peers. The number of patents filed in India was 56,000, and it was only 4% of what was filed in China. It was 14.97 lakh applications filed, and in US it is 5.97 lakhs. Compared to it, we filed 56,000. And that is why, as a country, our patents also we are lagging behind. When it was granted, I would like to inform you. They say per million population, patents granted per million population. In South Korea, it is 2,100. In Japan, it is 1,600. In USA, it is 950. In China, it is 296. And India, it is near 6. Now you know why we should spend more on higher education, because we want to be an advanced country. Without higher education, without research and development, it will not be possible. So we have to persuade our governments, both the union government as well as state government, to spend more on education and particularly on research and development, because the amount to spend is very, very meager. In fact, we spend to percentage of GDP, 0.64% of the GDP is spent on research in our country. And there is no comparison with other countries. US spends about 2.5%. China is equally spent. Israel is the number one country. South Korea spends 1.5%, etc. So it is time now that those who are in authority and power, they must be able to understand this and spend more, so that there will be more research in the country, more students will join the research programs, PhD programs. India, and again, when you file a petition for patent, how much time will it take? In India, it takes about 58 months, nearly 5 years, on an average for the disposal of the patent application, whereas it is done in 20 months in China and 23 months in US. And why this delay? The cause of the delay is the shortage of manpower in the patent office. Only 860 people are employed in India compared to 13,700 people in China and 8,100 people in US. Not that people are lagging behind, people we are not available, but we don't want to spend so many people are not appointed so that it can be dealt with like other important countries of the world. Another thing which is very favorable to us is in the global ranking of innovation index. We are coming up. We have climbed 35 places from 81. Our ranking was 81 in 2015-16. Now it has come to number 46. So it's a consolation that we have come up with the innovation index. It is not only the government's expenditure, the private expenditure is also very, very essential. The private industries, business, etc. And there also, the private industries in India are not spending like our peers, like China and US. To give you exactly, private sector contribution to research and development in India is at 36% of the gross expenditure, whereas it is 77% in China and 75% in US. So both the government is spending less and the private sector also spends less. That's why the total number of people coming out is lesser, publications are lesser, patents are lesser. In 2019, India produced over 24,000 doctoral graduates. Of course, BIT as an institution, we are concentrating on research programs. At present, we have about 6,500 research students in all the campuses put together. And we try to pay on par with the central institutions. There, we expect some help from the central government, UGC, or other organizations, which is not forthcoming at all. And US universities awarded 18,000 PhDs in 2000 compared to China's 9,000. This was in 24 years ago. What is the position now? China slowly increased. In 2019, what was 9,000 became 49,000 PhDs, and US was 33,000. That's how that country is going up, and we have to compete with them. See, in population we have overtaken them 2 years ago. We used to be number 1, China used to be number 2. Now we have overtaken China, and we are world's number 1 in population with 145 crores. They are less than 3 crores because population started declining in China, whereas it is still growing in India. But we must make use of this, and we have the more number of youngsters in the country, what we call demographic dividend. If you want to utilize this demographic dividend, education must be given to all of them, all the youngsters, and also they must be encouraged to do research and patents and publications. These are all possible, and only thing is we have to spend more, allocate more fund on education. I hope in the future it will be done so that we also can compete with advanced countries. At present, we are in the 5th position of the world as far as GDP is concerned. We are in the 5th position. Our Prime Minister says that we will become the 3rd largest economy in the world. It is possible, but unless we give education, the benefit of growth will reach only a few people. Because already, instead of socialism, capitalism is increasing in our country. I don't know how many of you are studying this. In the year 2000, we had only 9 billionaires in India. Now in 2024, it has grown into 200. The top 1% of the population control nearly 60% of the country, which is not good for the poor people and the underdogs. These are the things which can be set right to some extent by higher education in this country. And I hope and wish that the center and the state concentrate on education so that the country can come up, and also more publications and patents will be we will have, and the competition we will be having very good competition with China and US, where we are lagging behind. I would like to thank the organizers for wonderful arrangement, student organizers as well as our professors for making all this possible, because every year we compete with reality. 24 we are doing very well. In 25 we will be competing in 24 VIT. That's what is being done, and I am happy that the students are totally participating and are helping all the events. I congratulate all the student participants and teachers for wonderful work they have done. And again I would like to thank the Chief Guest and Guest of Honor for participating in today's function. Thank you very much.
Shri Manu Ranjan Ram, the Vice President of Danieli India Limited. Mr. Ram holds a BTech degree in Electrical Engineering and MBA in Marketing, which has been the bedrock of his remarkable career spanning over 3 decades in the metal industry. His journey began in August 1993, and he dedicated the first 15 years to various managerial roles at Steel Authority of India Limited. Following his tenure at SAIL, he embraced global challenges at ArcelorMittal, where he excelled in mergers and acquisitions and greenfield steel plant projects as a general manager. For the past 11 years, he has been instrumental in leading marketing strategy and business development across the Indian subcontinent for all the product divisions of the Danieli Group. In 2016, the Indian Institute of Metals recognized his significant contributions to the metallurgical profession by conferring him with a fellowship. His vast experience in strategy, mergers and acquisitions, and B2B technology sales and marketing makes him a well-known personality in the Indian steel sector and a luminary in the metallurgical fields. We eagerly wait for his insights and guidance during this event. I now request Sir to address the gathering. Please, sir.
Respected dignitaries of the dais, my dear students, ladies and gentlemen, I deem it a great pleasure and honor to address this 15th edition of Kழகத. I am thankful to the management of VIT for inviting me on this coveted occasion. And this occasion, as you know, this occasion is recognizing the value of learning by doing. That's what I understood what is Kழகத. And this institute has distinguished itself as an institute of eminence for technology, and it is your hard work, dedication of your teachers, staff, and vision of VIT management which is responsible for this notable achievement. It gives me an immense pleasure to acknowledge the dynamic leadership and contribution of Dr. G. Vishwanath, the Chancellor of VIT, who has created this institute, and today this institute has become an institute of eminence. My dear young students, my address is mostly focused to you. And because you all are here after facing intense competition, you entered into this institute. And I am sure that you all are pursuing your academic work with great pleasure. But as the Chancellor mentioned, that when the India is going to be the 3rd largest economy, it is you who will build the future of India. And engineers are the problem solvers of the world. And one hurdle which usually the students they face, and that act as a speed breaker, is our mental block. Think big and dream big. As Chancellor mentioned very pertinently, the India is growing, but we need to do a lot on innovations. And innovation can only happen if the education or the academics is forming a bedrock for the future of the new innovations or new innovations in the technology, which can create social or economic value. Now let me give you two real life examples that why innovations get constrained and why it is not flourishing in all parts of the world in equal footing. Most of you might have seen elephants. I am also very fascinated with this animal elephant, which is a giant animal having tremendous power. Have you ever seen that an elephant tied to a wooden block stuck in the ground with a long chain and that imprisons its leg? So that makes the elephant immobile. But if you look at block very closely, that wooden block is a tiny piece of wood planted in the ground, only few inches deep. But the chain is long. Which is tied to the foot of the elephant. And a giant elephant which can uproot a tree, or it can break a wall also, it can easily uproot that wooden block. So don't you think that it is a mystery? Why and what is keeping the elephant tied to this wooden pole? Why the elephant didn't run away? So if you try to look deeper into this mystery, you will find this chained elephant was chained when it was a baby elephant. So even though it is chained with the baby elephant, at that point of time, the wooden block, the baby elephant could not able to take it out, and it struggled to break free. But then at one point of time, it resigned, and then it accepted its destiny and stayed. And after several attempts of break free, when it has resigned to its own destiny, the huge and powerful elephant could not able to run away for life. So that what is the lesson out of that? That even if an elephant, which is a energy house, could not able to run away because it never tried again. So this is one example. Another example, I don't know whether you have heard about Sital Devi. Sital Devi is an Indian art without arms, and she got a gold medal in shooting in Paralympics. She is 17 years old. Till 15 years, she was not knowing ABC of archery. But on 17th year, she was able to strike the gold and without being arms. So moral of this story is victory or defeat. Whether you can innovate new things or not, it is truly decided in the mind. And when mind is disturbed, we see the situation as a problem. And when the mind is calm, we see the same situation as a challenge. But when the mind is inspired, we see the same situation as an opportunity. So the essence is, for innovation or for doing new things, you need to have courage. You need to have conviction in your mind that yes, new things can be done. And that is the only way you can do it, is to try again and again and again, and with whole heart into it. When I was of your age, 31 years back, at that time Indian industry was novice, and the industry was largely isolated. But today things have changed. Our industry has a large number of world-class workers. A lot of world-class MNCs have set up their factories in India, and the globalization has helped Indian industry to become competitive in the market and beyond Indian territory. My young friends, you have many choices to pursue your career. Some of these are in information technology, metal industry, education, R&D, management and administrative services, where you can get hands-on practices. However, you should choose a career which gives you satisfaction and bliss. Today, you will be surprised to know most of you are focused towards computer science and IT. but you will be surprised to know the oil market today is a $2 trillion market. The metal market today, the top 10 metal industries combined together, is $1 trillion. So the size of the oil market, metal market, you should look into the opportunities in that sector as well, because those were earlier considered as labor intensive and which are not technology savvy. But today, the situation is completely transformed. 30 years back, the steel plants which were running with 20,000 people, today the same steel plant is running with 3 times of its capacity but with half of its total employees. And how it has happened? Because of introduction of technology. We in Danili is an MNC, maybe some of you might have aware of. It's a century-old company. And in India, we have set up a state-of-the-art manufacturing facility in City City, which designs, engineering and manufacturing of the mechanical equipment for steel plant is being done. And you will be surprised that 60% of our equipment, which is manufactured in India, in City City, in a place, maybe it is a remote place for you, in Andhra Pradesh, 60% of this is going to the US. So, the state of all these design, engineering and manufacturing is done by the Indian engineers. So this is the level what the Indian engineers, the skill level has gone up. So the another one important point which I would like to keep it in mind is that you must enhance your skills in artificial intelligence, because what we are finding that AI is the present and AI is the future of digitalization. In all the fields of industry, what we are saying now is that artificial intelligence is entering into business forecast, including the demand forecast. It is doing the predictive analysis. So, using the artificial intelligence, the variability or the uncertainties or the predictability of uncertainties are being taken care of, and which the industry is looking for some skills or the skilled people with AI. At the end, I tell you that there are 3 C's in life which you should remember. One is choice, another is courage and conviction. So it is very important in the life, particularly when you will be entering into your professional life after the academics, the choice is very important. Because in the life, 2 fixed points are there. One is B, another is D. B is birth, D is death. Birth, you have no choice. You have no choice of your timing of your birth. You have no choice who will be your parent. You have no choice on D when the life will end. But between B and D, there is a letter that is C, which is in your hand. So choose your career path not in a haste, but choose the career which will give you a mental happiness. And the occasions like gravitas, maybe many of you might be knowing the meaning of gravitas. Let me see how many of you know the meaning of gravitas. What does gravitas mean? So the gravitas actually is, I must thank the person who has created this word. The English word of gravitas is seriousness. And the gravitas is a blend of confidence, composure, credibility, decisiveness and respect. And that is the thing which is required. When you will step out of this institute and enter into your professional skill, add a little bit of gravitas in your work. Because this gravitas will give you, gravitas means how you present yourself, even if you are highly knowledgeable, but how you are presenting your knowledge with how much seriousness, how much confidence, that matters a lot when you will enter into the industry or in the professional world. So with this, I would like to conclude my speech, and may God grant you wisdom, success, and true sense of human